All right, I'm unmuted, and welcome to the Daily Grind, where gamers find grace. This is your weekly checkpoint to rest, reflect, and respawn. We're here on episode 7, which is just crazy. I didn't think we'd be doing any episodes, and now we're here at lucky number 7. I'm your host, Shaun McAfee, and today we've got a true player in the Catholic content scene joining us. His name is Andrew Miller. You know him better as the Millennial Catholic. This is this Catholic, that's the Millennial Catholic. We'll juxtapose the two later. Andrew's a husband, a dad of 2, a veteran, a public servant, and get this, he's a professional umpire in the Major Little League level. I wrote all that down. You'll see what he gave me later, and we're going to hand the mic over to him for some shenanigans, apparently. So yes, tonight's guest literally makes judgment calls for a living, so he's very qualified to be here. We'll talk about that and how he's been bringing his faith into his fatherhood, maybe into the workplace, and of course the game of life, not just baseball, but the game of life. Our boss battle for the evening is going to center on classic sports games, so as well will Poll Party. So I hope all the nerds out there, who love your RPGs, I hope you at least played some Mario Golf, some Tecmo Bowl, and might be able to answer some of those questions and challenge yourself a little bit. Of course, we can't get to any of that until we have an opportunity to pause and think of our spiritual matters, and that's the way we're going to kick it off. So let's warm up that chat in the comments. I want you to give me just a little bit of a tease. What's the first video game that ever made you rage quit and then repent afterwards? Honestly, guys, what's the first game where you said, whether it was as a kid, a teenager, an adult, you said, I'm done, this sucks? I want to know that one. And now we'll talk about happiness at Spiritual Patch Notes. Spyro, that was a great one, Magician. That was a great one because I loved that game as a teen. I played it in high school on PlayStation, right? Beat it straight through, had a ton of fun, easy game, lighthearted humor. I picked it up on Switch, the 1, 2, and 3, right? The combo pack. And I was like, I just couldn't get past some very easy puzzles. And I was like, I need the internet for this. And I think I put it down, and I don't think I picked it up since. So that it's funny how things change as you get older and what you're willing to grind through and what you're not. So let's talk about grinding through grace as we do every week. Whether you're on the battlefield, oh, you see the reference I put in there comes out tomorrow. I just bought it tonight and downloaded it. Whether you're on the battlefield, behind a badge, or in the comments section, being a Catholic in public life is no easy run. Our guest, Andrew Miller, the Millennial Catholic, knows this firsthand. From military service to public office, yeah, he's a public servant like me, to online ministry, we'll talk about that. He's had to live the faith in the open, and sometimes maybe where it's least welcome. I'm going to ask him where he keeps his prayer steady when the mission gets noisy on the battlefield. Can't wait for tomorrow. Comes out at midnight tonight. For those of us, for all of us really, it's a reminder that grace doesn't depend on calm conditions. St. Teresa of Calcutta famously remarked, God doesn't ask us to be successful. God asks us only to be faithful. Words to live by. That's the real patch note this week. Stability through the lag, like we were having last week. Right, Magician? Oh, that was fun. I had my wife on and everything froze at the pool party. Whatever. Even after Jessica and I got into a little bit of argument over how to spell spice. It was so fun. But we're going to get through that. Stability through the lag, patience through the trial, obedience through the update cycle. And these are your spiritual patch notes. Let's get to checkpoint reflection. You guys hear the heartbeat there, right? That's my heartbeat. I've got a chest monitor on, and it records it live for you guys. So this is checkpoint reflection. Before we dive deeper, let's take a moment to check in with each other spiritually. I've been thinking about obedience. I mentioned it in the last segment just a little bit, but I've been thinking about obedience. Not the kind that crushes freedom. Of course, that's not true freedom, but the kind that frees us up to play the game that it was meant to be played. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 17, verse 10 says, "We are unworthy servants. We have only done what was our duty." It's not a plug for Call of Duty. I'm excited about Battlefield. I can't get my mind off of it. The verse, again, "We are unworthy servants. We have only done what was our duty." Andrew, our guest, has got one of the toughest gigs around. We mentioned this, enforcing rules that keep the game honest, even if nobody likes the call. And spiritually, that's all of us. That is all of us in a nutshell. Trying to stay faithful to God's rules, even when the crowd's booing. We're not talking about the heavenly witnesses that we have on the intro there. We're talking about all of the voices around us, the culture around us, society telling us to bow to things other than God. So maybe the holiness of obedience is just that. There's something to ponder on. Making the right call, even when it costs you cheers. Now, if you cheer for that, throw some cheers up in the chat and let me see some emotes. We all love Jess. My wife is a sweetie. We made tacos together today. Yeah. What 100? Thank you, man. Look at this kid over here. He's smiling. He's giggling. I love you, dude. Thank you for the 100 bits, Millennial. Let's get on to meet our guest. Without any further ado. All right, here's your time to shine. All right, time to team up with our guest. But before I can do that, I want you to know that I'm mixing it up today. Chat, please pay attention to my words. At the end of every co-op mode, that's this segment, I have a series of quick questions. We know this is quick fire co-op. Well, from now on, let's try this out. I want it to be your turn. I want you to get your keyboard ready towards the end of this segment, feel it out, and ask him any question you want. Light it up in the chat so he can go in there and just answer your questions. I'm going to do the same. It might be interesting. It might not be. It might be relevant to what he had said. Maybe not. It might just be goofy. We'll see where it goes. But I think that could be really fun. So please get your thumbs ready. Get your keyboard ready. Whatever you can throw at him. You can even start loading it in there now. Who cares? Okay, so our guests. He exists. And that's all he wants you to know about him. Andy, welcome again. Did I miss anything?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the TheMilennial Catholic podcast. I'm your host, Andrew, and today we have an extra special guest with us, Shaun McAfee. Now, you may know Shaun from his books such as I'm Catholic, Now What? And Epic Saints, and his new series for kids on Saints and Sacramentals. You can catch him on Twitch with his new show, The Daily Grind. Shaun, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me on your show. I see where this is going.
So, what have you been up to lately? You started this new Twitch show, so...
I got a haircut today. Do you like it?
Just one?
This is actually how you guys met me. Whenever I was living in Italy, my barber, Samuele, he always cut my hair, and I said, make me look like a handsome Italian man. And I can't say that, got me to the handsome part, but the Italians love that little line. You love that little line. And you see it? And so they just mark a little line there. And the funniest story, I have to tell you this after the show in private, but I got the name of it wrong. It's a very dirty word that I can't use here. And he said, oh, you don't say that out loud. We call it linea, like a line, linea. I goofed the pronunciation of a different type of line. We'll say that. And yeah, that's not enough to reveal it. And I'm safe, right? Don't call the cops. And that's that. I'm doing good.
Amazing.
This is a reverse interview.
It turned into a reverse interview. I told you, we're going to have fun today.
Let's do it.
So, what you just came out with this new book about the Rosary.
Yes.
I picked it up.
Wow.
I have not been able to read it with my daughter because
that's what everybody says. I bought it, didn't read it.
No. I've read it.
I
tried to read it with my daughter, but she doesn't have the attention span for it because it doesn't
Oh.
have that many pretty photos in it.
Ah!
It has really great photos, but not like, her favorite book right now, The Bakery Dragon, where it's just a full page of color, full color photo. So, what got you into writing kids books compared to what you've written in the past?
Yeah, great question. My kids are a really important part of my life, obviously, as a father, but like mentally, I consider myself very accountable to God when I meet him face to face one day on saying, "What did you do?" The other things that I do during my life, the sins that I commit, even my career, that'll have an impact on society and this and that. But I firmly believe that my credit and my merit in life is going to be judged by how I raised my kids. Not all of them are going to stay in the boat. I talked to him about that this week. I know kids go different ways. That's a reality of being a parent. But to get to the point, I love writing for adults, but I had to do some work for kids. I just wanted to contribute that passion of my life, which I don't get paid very much. It's not like it's a full time job. I wanted to contribute that passion of my life to something that my kids could say, wow, this has my name in it. This has this little thing that only my family knows about that thing I did worked into it. And these are family secrets that are worked into these titles. I really was passionate about doing something simple, but doing something profound and going after a topic I was excited about, right? The sacramentals, especially as a lay Dominican, having the first one be about the rosary was it. So that kind of kicked it off. And yeah, it's a series with 10 books. And we got the next one coming out here not too long, but not too soon. They're going to be released every like 5 or 6 months.
Can you let us know what the next one is going to be?
Yeah, it's on St. Catherine Laborie and the miraculous medal. So it goes over the story of this 18th century young girl who, in a vision, had received the image of the miraculous medal by our Blessed Mother and kept it a secret actually her whole life. That it was her, although the medal was widely distributed. Like within 10 years, there was over like 250,000 copies of the medal distributed in France alone. Like, and they have the records of these production facilities to prove that. So, wild thing talks about her secrecy, her secret life of love for Christ, and the desire to not be in the spotlight and to put Jesus and Mary there.
That sounds wonderful. Because the thing is, like we talk about all of these things like the rosary, the miraculous medal, the scapulars, and even as like a even as a cradle Catholic, the one that we all grow up with is the rosary.
Yeah,
And maybe you'll get a miraculous medal, but it kind of just has the little prayer in the medal, but doesn't really tell you anything about it.
sure.
So I am glad that you are doing these books because not only does it help people like me, but it also helps people like me pass the faith on to like my daughter.
Right.
Again, only one kid, not two.
Right. And I've got an argument that I always kind of have in my head. I wasn't raised Catholic, but whenever I think of the very first image that anybody in the world would say, okay, what's the first image that comes to mind when you think Catholicism? I hands down say the Rosary. Maybe close second would be like the Pope or the Vatican, St. Peter's or something, but nothing would come close to me than the Rosary. So I'm glad that you feel the same way. I think it's a vital part of course, of our faith. But this is the easiest thing to teach the children. It's a repetitive prayer. It can be heartfelt, and it's catechizing to learn each of those moments of Jesus's life and Mary's interactions with him, as she had to focus on these things as well and take all these things into the silence of her heart, as the scriptures say. And it's been so fun. I don't want to keep these things in the silence of my heart, so I had to put them on paper for you guys to buy.
I'll buy them. No worries.
How many do you want?
Well, if I could fill the church library with them, I would do that. But I don't think you want to send me that many.
All right. Is it time for me to take it back?
I think you can take it back over now.
Okay. I like that you did that because that's a clever way of introducing you as a former and maybe possibly resurrected podcaster. When you had a podcast going for a very long time called the Millennial Catholic Podcast. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so oh man, this was what, 4 years ago now? No, it was like
Wasn't too long ago, maybe within the last three
it's
years.
actually it's been a while. Um, no, it was pre-COVID. I started pre-COVID.
You started
Uh,
pre-COVID.
Started pre-COVID, and wow, 4 years ago was the last episode. Man, it feels like just yesterday I recorded that thing. Um,
Isn't that
and-
sad?
yeah,
I mean, in
time
so many
goes
different ways, right? The time goes
so many
by,
different
but
ways.
also you're kind of like, man, I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Um,
The podcast.
yeah, it was one of those things that I was I wanted to dig deeper in my faith, and I figured if I want to dig deeper, there are people out there who also want to dig deeper. Um, so I literally just went up to my parish priest, who I was good friends with, and said, "Hey, I want to do this," and he said, "Yeah, let's do it." And that's how we got started.
A willing victim.
And it was seriously, it was just there was no script, there were no pre screen questions or anything.
Right.
We just kind of went into it, and sometimes before we'd start, I'd ask Father Scott, I'd be like, "Hey, is there anything you want to talk about?" And if he did, we'd talk about that. Um, if not, it was just kind of whatever was placed on my heart at the time of what I wanted to talk about.
Right.
So,
What topics do you think like were the most interesting and which were like the hardest to dig into?
um, man, they're all interesting in their own way, right?
Okay.
Um, I'd have to go back and actually like dig through all of my episodes to kind of give you an idea of what I was thinking when.
Okay.
Because a lot of it is very um how I want to put this, very of the moment.
Sure.
Um,
Okay. What was there like a goofy moment that you remember that you can tell us about, like a snafu that happened in recording, or you had a guest on, or something that you and Father like just experienced that nobody else knows about?
so w- we made a drinking game
Oh,
out of the podcast. Um, there were certain phrases that Father Scott used to say like all the time. Very good was one of them.
ah,
Spicy meatball.
oh, right.
Like some of these
I remember
things,
that.
right? Um, so we used to make a drinking game out of it where I would be recording. Um, and after I like edit the episode, I put it out, and it would be every time he would say like certain catchphrases, you had to take a drink
Right,
as we're listening back to it.
right.
And it was just one of those things that just it grew. It grew to the point that we actually did it in person one time. We were like having a young adult group um at his house, and I think he caught on. I think he caught on
Oh,
and
wait.
started saying things on purpose to get us to drink.
He didn't know?
Not originally.
Oh, I'm just picking up on that. I figured he was in, like you guys were listening to it in editing and you guys had this game between you, but no,
Nope.
you guys picked up on it subtly. You know what? I've listened to all of my episodes, of course. I have to chop them up, put them on YouTube, maybe make a clip here and there, make a short, YouTube short, get a lot of views on those. But I hear myself say, wow, a lot. Like, and it's always the same wow, like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very geeky, the same tone. Like wow, wow. If you probably could have like a sound button, and it wouldn't even be different than how I would do it if I was just right now say wow. We've all got things like that. So, what inspired you to take your faith and put it online? You said that you wanted to dig deeper into your faith. So, were you? Now, I find this true with a lot of content creators, and they'll all kind of preach the same thing: is that a lot of creating is a lot of learning. You learn twice when you teach and so forth. So was that kind of the message that you were trying to get for yourself, or was there something different?
I honestly, there were just questions that I had. Um, like a lot of those questions were some of the beginning episodes of like just how stuff works in the church because we've all been there. It gets very frustrating. The bureaucracy of the church is very frustrating
Sure.
sometimes when you're trying to get stuff done. And it was just kind of, why do things work the way they work?
Right.
And if I have these questions, I can almost guarantee that somebody else has these questions, right? So why not just put it out there? Um, Worst comes to worst, nobody ever listens to it, and it's just there for me for later. Best thing comes from, best thing ever were to happen where I can make that a full time job, or somewhere in between.
Yeah. Where do you think you landed?
Somewhere in between.
Yeah. We all do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very little failures in content creating. You're going to cater to, of course, your friends and family, um, and you'll build a following. And I like to think that those are the little things that like Jesus is asking us all to do. A pair of 12. Even if there's 12 viewers on Twitch at all times, and we never exceed that, you're still discipling. You're still evangelizing. You're still bringing it to the people. They're still getting some growth from it. You're probably getting even more at their expense.
Yeah.
But
And you never know who might hear what episode at what time at the perfect moment for them, right?
right,
And if you never put that out there, who knows where they would be today?
right. There's an art to that, and you know this as a podcaster, and I try to incorporate it here into these episodes. Is there's an element and a creativity that has to be had when you're kind of going over your script in your head or going over your script on paper and making sure. I learned this word. It's a very fancy word, that it's not ephemeral, meaning it doesn't like socially expire, like you don't date it. So it's not just talking about the Super Bowl in 2007. We're talking about football in general, or we're talking about not just the conclave that happened to elect Pope Francis. And hey, I got to skip that episode because we already know everything that happened there. But I'm talking about a concept that can go, and last throughout time. Is that was that a big part of your lesson planning, so to speak, for your audience?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's definitely some um current event stuff in there as well. I think I did a solo episode one time about how when the when Notre Dame was burning.
All right.
I think I did an episode with that. There was an episode about abortion at one point, and this was before the overturn.
Oh, thank God.
That I
Thank
did an
God we got
episode.
it. Thank God we got it.
Um,
I
so
see
there
that
are,
date on the calendar every year, and it's like we celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination tomorrow, 1 month, and these are things like I don't remember everything. I don't remember everything. I had to be reminded as a federal worker that we have Monday off. I don't remember everything, but things like the overturning of Roe v. Wade, things like the memorial of Charlie Kirk, like those just stick out to me. I interrupted you. You were making a point. You mind if I ask you another question?
go for it. It's your
It's
show.
my show. So you said pre-COVID. How did you guys cover COVID? Because that must have been there. There were a lot of mixed feelings, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. All of us kind of day to day were taking that trauma and taking those hot takes about it and learning more about it and kind of trying to be our own. I call it being not just an investigative journalist, but being an intelligence specialist. You're in the DC area, being an intelligence specialist there at Quantico or something. How did you guys cover the COVID issue?
So we kind of not necessarily avoided talking about it in that sense of the word, right? Because we were so busy doing drive-through confessions.
Right.
We were so busy ministering to people during this time that, in my opinion, the churches should have never closed. Now, you can make the argument of health and safety and whatever, whatever,
Sure.
but in my argument, nobody wanted to go to church more than when we couldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Um, so
I'd not heard it put that way.
Father Scott went out one day and decided he was going to do drive-through confessions, and it became this thing. Like we had news cameras, newspapers, people from all over the world. Like he was in the Beijing Times.
Was he the one with the office chair out in the parking lot?
Um, I think we might have had an office chair at one point, but we had just a normal chair that we took out from the church and put out there.
Yeah, it looked like a black bucket type office chair, one that you'd find in any school, maybe a Catholic school, and just in the middle of the parking lot, and the cars are in a deep line behind him. I do
Yep.
remember this image. I'm not sure I was aware that that was him.
Yeah. If it came from Catholic Pop, then it was him.
Yeah, that's so interesting. In Italy, we were kind of smuggling communion. Yep, we were meeting in the on the base parking lot outside the Ederly Inn, and our pastor, Archdiocese of Military Services priest from Nigeria, he was willing to hear confessions in his car and distribute communion after mass because we were televising it. He would go and celebrate it. We would watch on TV. Only a few people, and it was controversial even in our little community, the archdiocese there in Italy. And there were some people there who were able to serve mass and do the readings, and we were like, well, why can't we all go? And then he was like, hey guys, shush, but just give me a text and I'll meet you for communion. So it's cool. It is what it is. So you're also in the DC area because you have a job there, which we don't have to talk all about, but tell us about your military service. And by the way, thank you for your service. If you're looking to increase your VA benefits, give me a call. I can get you as high as you want to get.
I Yeah, you and I need to talk about that
Yep.
because I the VSO here just doesn't talk to me.
I'm going
It's
to
very
tell you, well, I want to tell everybody, but I'm going to tell you that you're not going to believe your eyes. You're not going to believe
I
your eyes, and you probably can get more than you think, and I can hook you up. So, tell us about your
I am
military service.
so I joined right out of high school. I was supposed to go in like July, August of like my right after my 19th birthday or 18th yeah, 19th. How 18th birthday. I can math. Caught the seriously caught the flu right before I was supposed to go. So got pushed back till October of 2009. So joined in 2009. Spent about a year, about 8 to 10 months in training total. So basic training and tech school,
Okay.
where I became a radio operator.
Did you do that at Keesler?
Yep.
Hey! What year?
2010 is when I graduated.
Got it. Okay. So, okay. Got it. So I was
Way
in a
after
little
you.
bit
Way
before.
after you.
Yeah, but I was at Keesler. I was at Keesler during Katrina at Dolan Hall. Did you
Yep.
learn at Dolan Hall? Did you take
I learned
electronics
at Dolan Hall.
electronics principles there?
Yep.
Dude, did we already have this conversation years ago?
Yeah, we had this conversation years
I know,
ago.
but it's so cool to connect on it again because those are memories that only folks who, went to be air traffic controllers or electronics technicians like me and you
Yep.
would have in common. Okay, keep going. You're at Keesler. You're at tech school.
So I get my orders to go to Ramstein in Germany. I spent 3 years in Germany. Absolutely loved it. If someone were to tell me to go back, I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Which base?
Ramstein.
Rammstein. Yeah, great place.
Out of there, deployed for about a week to Djibouti.
That's one of my
Weird,
favorite places is Djibouti.
weird situation there.
Wait, can we do it? I think if we're going to mention booty,
Oh, jeez.
that we've got to do it. Yeah. It's turned off. You are so lucky I can't do my fart noises. Go ahead. You're in Djibouti.
for a week. Literally, like I get down there, they're like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be here," so they sent me back. Weird situation. No, I don't understand. So then they send me to Kyrgyzstan for 6 months.
Right. Wow.
Um, so I was in the mountains of Kyrgyzstan, freezing my tail off.
That must have been the time of your life, though. Admit it.
Uh,
Admit it.
do- I,
You
I
would go
still talk to
back.
some of
You
the
would go
people.
back in an instant.
There are people I still talk to that I deployed with on that deployment.
Yeah.
To this day, still talk to them. Um,
I'm jealous.
yeah,
I'm
came
jealous you
back.
talked to them, not that you went to Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, no, don't be jealous. I went to Kyrgyzstan. It was not that great. Um, then went back to Ramstein for a couple of months. Then moved out to Andrews, where I ended up
Hey, it's
meeting.
named after you.
It is named after me. Where I ended up meeting my wife out here and staying out, getting out and staying out here.
Hey, she's named after you. Her last name.
She took my last name. Yes,
Dude, don't ever deny me again. Well, thank you for your service. So you were in for 4 years, 6 years, 10 years?
8
8. Heck yeah. So you re-enlisted once or is that twice?
once.
Yeah. And so what made you decide to discharge?
It was decided for me.
Ah, okay. Medical?
No, force reduction.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for your service. You know, that part of serving is obedience for priests and for laity, and yes, for soldiers. When the military no longer needs your service, it's not a punishment. It's a service thing. So good. We got a lot of veterans actually, as you know. We've got one in the chat here, Gigs. I did put in the link for A1 VA ratings. Call Tanya. Take that down, man. Take that down. I just got off the phone with her today to talk about my benefits. So go get yours, man. And if you want to talk, see what it's all about, let me know. Okay, so you served your country. You're still serving it as your work for the Department of Army, correct?
Department of Interior.
Department of Interior. Are you furloughed?
I am furloughed. I have no job right now.
Are you expecting to receive your back pay?
I am. I think what he sent out there was just a strong arm tactic to open the government back up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm on the other side. I'm on the Army. I'm exempted. I'm a senior civilian in my organization, and they need me. So
You're working for nothing.
it'll never happen. Our unit, the Corps of Engineers, is a fee-for-service agency. We're not driven through appropriations. So it's funny. We're just getting into a little bit of the science, guys. But so my background is handling all that financial stuff and the appropriations for our programs. And then I go and contract it out. Well, we have what's called carryover lapsed appropriations. So we're able to keep it rather than lose it at the end of the fiscal year like everybody else does. And we kind of use this like a Fortune 500 company in order to keep our projects and our mission going, which is just it's a blessing. It's also a curse because it makes the job a lot harder to manage. You don't get the time you need to put into things like you can in the rest of the Army. And anyways, not to get into the minutia, but yeah, I'm saved from that. But this is all going towards a question: is what's been the biggest surprise for you along the way? You've had so many, career and hobby moments. Of course, now you're a father. We'll talk about that in a second. What's been the biggest surprise along the way?
In terms of what
In
exactly?
terms of your career, your life.
So I think the biggest surprise is I started off as a radio operator and now I'm in logistics.
Yeah, logistician. Go work for
Yeah,
DLA.
it's a no, I don't want to work for DLA. No, thank you. Um, it was a very interesting career move that didn't like exactly happen the way I thought it. Like a career move you think would happen.
Yeah.
Um, I became a radio operator while I was in Europe. I worked on land mobile radios, so your walkie talkies.
Right.
Um, but I also had to maintain the entire base inventory for those.
Yeah.
And when I got out, people saw that and said, "Hey, can you still do this?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it's not that difficult." And they said, "Great. We're going to throw a whole bunch of money at you to fix some problems
Yeah.
because you know how to do it." And that's how I ended up now being now being in logistics and being um, a top tier property manager for the Department of Interior.
I'm proud of you, man. You could go probably make a ton of money at Amazon
I don't want to work for Amazon
or
either.
Walmart or Meta. Yeah. Well, no, those are cool career options. So let me ask you this. Get back to the faith. Are you a convert? I'm not sure I'm aware
No,
of this. Okay.
no,
Tell no.
Cradle.
Cradle. Tell us about your cradle conversion. Just kidding. So was there was definitely a moment of like reversion for you though, right?
Yeah. So the funny thing, my moment of so as per like normal people, once you get away from mom and dad, you stop doing what mom and dad always told you to do.
Right.
Um, which meant I just stopped going after basic training. I stopped going to church. Whatever. It's Sunday. I work. Um I work all week. I want a couple days to myself. Whatever, whatever. So I did that all through you know um all through school and Ramstein and Kyrgyzstan, and
Rammstein.
then um while I was at Kyrgyzstan, I became really well acquainted with the chaplain there, um and just a really down the earth priest, really just understood the life part of being a Catholic, right?
Yeah.
Um Still didn't really go back. I came back here and I said, I should probably start going back.
Yeah.
Now that I'm back in America, I'll start going back. So I start going back. Christmas Eve of 2014, I meet this woman
Ooh.
at Mass.
Ah.
And my first thought is, wow, she's hot. Uh, my second thought is, after getting to talk to her, be like, oh, wow, she's super pious. I should start taking my butt to church some more.
Yeah.
Um, Little did I know, she thought the same thing about me and said, "Oh, I need to step up my game um as well." And we started to try to outdo each other in the, faith and church thing. That it kind of just it as you're supposed to do as husband and wife, help each other grow in faith. And yeah, it that's how the reversion happened was I wanted to impress my now wife.
You had to step up.
Had to step up.
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I don't sense you being in any shame about it, but and it's quite humorous too. There's a humorous way to go about it, but there is something to be said about the way that two people, especially in matrimony, complement each other by their desire to not just impress with muscles, but with spiritual muscles. Because when it comes deeply down to it, and I know every woman is probably going to nod their head at this, but yeah, they want a strong man, but the real strength, they're not going to know how to use that brawn if they don't really have the brains, and they're not really going to use that brains really well unless they have the heart and the mentality and the spirituality down. So I am sure that if you're like me, you're probably feeling very eclipsed by your wife's piousness, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be sitting there pumping the iron like spiritual meatheads, giving that leadership. And not to say they eat it up, but that's the way it is. So let that be an encouragement, not just to you, Andy. I'm saying that to everybody else out there. Tell us about Jackie, though. I understand that she had a battle with cancer so many years ago.
Yeah, so about 6-ish months after we got married. So we got married October of 2017. So our eighth wedding anniversary will be on Monday.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations! Guys, put some emotes in the chat for that.
um, roughly about 6 months afterwards, um, she got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay.
We found this out through a weird situation where she was getting allergy shots, and one day came home and like her neck looked swollen, and we thought it's just a reaction to the allergies. It is what it is, right?
Right.
Give it a couple of days, it will go down. Didn't go down.
Oh,
So, we tried some of the other things that we typically do. You ice it, you do some other stuff. So, like, okay, still didn't go down. So, doctor's appointment. He says, great, we're going to send you off to this guy who's going to look at it and see if you need a biopsy, right?
right.
Little did we realize that look at it and see if we're going to do a biopsy, we're going to happen on the same day within like 5 minutes of each other. um, so we get there. He does the thing. He's like, "Yep, we're going to start right now." Uh, was not prepared, to say the
Wow.
least.
Wow. So she is taken like under or
You
did
know, just like a local anesthetic, and I don't know what he was using, but he used the thing, pulled out some um, strands of what he needed,
wow.
sent them out.
Wow.
About a week later, he calls us back in and says, "Yep, you got cancer."
Oh,
And next thing, like all of this happened from the time we saw her original doctor to the time we started treatment was like a month max.
wow. Wow.
Um,
Does that mean that
so
they just wanted to get ahead of it or that there's a clearing in the schedule or that it was they suspected it was kind of bad and they needed to get in there quick?
in terms of like him doing the biopsy,
Yeah, yeah, or just, you're talking about the timeline here. Feels really rapid.
it was very rapid. I, I think it was just get in there and get treatment started because you don't want that to. I think what we said, what she said, or what the doctors ended up saying is that she was stage 2 alpha.
Right.
So it started to go to other lymph nodes, but it was still on like one side of the body. So it hadn't like creeped onto the other side. So get in there, take care of it. Um, yeah, from the time we went to the doctor to the time we started treatment was about a month. And it was rapid, quick. And, they're sitting in there telling us all the bad things that can happen,
Right.
not telling us that it's like an 89 overall multi-year survival rate. And with stage 2A it's closer to like 97 to 98%, but of course that 2 to 3% is all people who are in like their 80s and 90s and can't really fight at all, like
Wow.
can't really fight the cancer as well as a 20 something year old.
Right. I hear you. Golly, that must have been a pretty scary time, but I'm glad they got it out. So they fully removed it, and you've had
So
any
we
treatment since then, or
so um back in March of no, sorry, in August,
think
August of
think Andy?
25. I'm trying to math out. Sorry, of 23, she was 5 years of no evidence of disease.
Good. So they
Um,
don't really need to touch it after that, or does she have like a regular monitoring?
so once we were done, it was every 3 months and 6 months and every year. So I think at the 5 year mark where we go in 5 years again to check, and then it's like 10 years after that. And
Yeah, and then 100.
yep.
Okay, dude, there's so much ground to cover there about your personal life, and thank you for sharing those details with us. I learned a lot more than I thought I knew about you, and I was able to relearn some things, obviously. And those are cool moments for me, and it's like a little embarrassing, but it's cool for me. If you don't mind, we're going to move into quickfire co-op here. So this is the point of the show where, guys, I would ordinarily ask all the questions and make him rapid answer all of these. But we're going to do this week. In fact, we're going to see how this works for future episodes as well. As I want you to get out your keyboards and starting now, just load up the chat with your questions. Andy, you read them, answer them as slow as you want, as in detail as you want. We'll go for a few minutes and then we'll go into boss battle. How's that?
Wonderful.
Load them up, guys. Go for it.
Let's see what we got here. Gigs wants to know my favorite type of pie. That'd be Dutch apple. Or pancakes or waffles. Definitely pancakes. I do like the occasional waffle, but I like pancakes. Uh, Cal, is it true that the Air Force is for guys who couldn't make it in the Navy? Well, considering the Navy holds the Marines, not true at all. And why does it need 8 months for radio school? Because we learned how to break a radio all the way down and replace actual components in the radio.
Yeah,
Plus, we had to
transistors
learn all the
and
jargon
yep,
and learn how to, because it's not just like
capacitors.
not
Also,
just like radios; it's also satellite communications as well. What we were learning.
were you your signal command?
No,
Netcom?
all comms.
Which one?
I said all comms. So I work, 86 and 89th Communication Squadrons.
I'm
are
breaking
two
the
squadrons
rules. We
I
got to
was
read the questions from the chat.
What's more fun? Kmart wants to know what's more fun, being an umpire or organizing trivia nights. Depends on how busy the trivia night is. If the trivia night is super packed, organizing trivia nights. If it's not, umpiring. Miss Magician wants to know favorite ice cream flavor. That'd be cotton candy. I don't eat that much ice cream, so it's cotton candy. No gigs. The Air Force does not let me keep my chair when I retire. That is property of the government.
Chair Force. He's making a Chair Force joke.
He is making a chair.
What a
force.
loser. I tell you, there's way more Navy jokes than anything else.
My favorite. Sean wants to know what my favorite Catholic book is. That would be the Bible. Let's be real.
Good answer.
Was I one of the first people who asked the egg or and OJ question? I asked the OJ question first
You did?
because we got in this argument about orange juice and whether or not it was pulp or not pulp is the better version of orange juice. So it got integrated into the egg question of what is better, how do you like your eggs and your OJ? Because pulp all the way.
Navy jokes aren't jokes, they're real. I just want to point out to everybody that Vec is in the chat. Keep going.
Working harder, hardly working. Right now, hardly working. It's called being furloughed.
Yeah. Enjoy it, dude. Go get a tan.
I've been spending so much time with my daughter.
Good.
Sean, I want you to give me all of your money, not the other way around.
Okay. I'm seeing you next summer, so I'll take you out to eat.
My favorite. Do you want to know my favorite video game of all time or currently playing?
Both.
Favorite game of all time is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, what a man.
Currently playing would be Balatro.
Really?
Yeah.
Retro bought me that game, and I still haven't charged it up.
So it's a poker game. It's a roguelike poker game, and okay. The strategy behind what you need to do is it's fun to me. Like, it's a giant puzzle.
Okay, I need to fire it up and just quit wasting my life. Get your questions in, because we're going to go to boss battle soon, guys.
Favorite place I've ever been? That's Alaska, honestly. Well, I went to Anchorage for the first time for work this last couple months ago.
Wow.
I landed and it was raining, so I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
But the next day, when I got up and started to go to work, I had to run to Target real quick. Wasn't even paying attention. Turned down this road and just these mountains opened up, this beautiful view, and it's like this is literally like walking into a Bob Ross painting.
Yeah, which is where he's from. Got all that inspiration. If you didn't know, my wife and I were married there. Questions?
No, Vec, I cannot say I'm proud of you in your dad's voice.
God.
If you poop right after your shower, is a second shower mandatory? It depends on the consistency of the poop.
Right. I mean, were you on the toilet the whole time?
Well, no. The question is, if you poop right after you shower, so you take your shower, you turn off the water, you go, and you go, oh, I gotta poop.
In the shower or on the toilet?
And you sit down inside. Well, if you're pooping in the shower, Shauna, I don't know what's wrong with you.
You said you can't. No, just poop in the shower. This is why P. Tony won't ever be associated with the show again. Is all the toilet humor. And I love it. I love it. I have hair on my chest. I have a bunch of kids. I don't make them pull my finger, but I'll fart in front of them. I love this stuff. Are you ready to go to boss battle?
Let's go to boss battle.
Here we go. All right, boss battle. Yeah, we were making a bunch of jokes there. Let's give you 10 batteries. Saints, sports, and sacraments. We didn't really mention this. In fact, we didn't talk at all about his little league umpiring, but this guy, his gamer tag here in the Discord is sports guy. And so he loves sports. He's a great Catholic. I think he'll have some fun with this. And guys, poll party. If you're a sports fan, especially sports games, you're going to like this. Okay, so chat, it's time for our favorite segment of the night, Boss Battle. You know the rules, 10 rounds, 2 choices per question, and only one can survive. Well, you're going to survive, but we'll see how much batteries powers you survive with. And remember, chat, that your bits and your voting with your subs can increase or decrease his chances of keeping those batteries on. So if you want to bless our guest, give bits, give subs, and say bless, and we'll add batteries. And if you want to damn our guests, then say damn and give your bits and subs with that message. So you can do that now. You can do it later, and we'll do that.
Where's K-Max at? I'm waiting for K-Max to start just damning me to...
Yeah, I'd need K-Max to give us some paychecks. So you got to hold off on the Pokemon cards for just 1 minute and give us some paychecks here. Okay, so just make sure you put bless or damn in your purchase if you are feeling so generous today to support the show and to have some fun with our guest. Again, tonight's theme is Saints, Sports, and Sacramentals. It's a test of faith and fitness for the soul. Andy, are you ready? I'm going to read 10 questions, give you 2 possible answers each, and you tell me.
Go for it.
Here we are. Question 1. Who's the patron saint of athletes? Is it Saint Christopher or Saint Sebastian?
Saint Sebastian.
Dang! Did you know that, or did you guess it?
I knew that one.
Okay, so he's pierced by arrows, powered by faith, endurance mode unlocked on this saint. No batteries lost. Question 2. Some athletes use oil, and so do some sacraments. What is the same oil used in confirmation and also in baptism or anointing of the sick? Is it trick question? Well, did I just answer it?
No.
Do you know the name of this? It is the
oil of the catechumens.
Nope. It is the chrism. It is the
Chrism.
holy chrism. So we're going to take away dat battery. You lost one. Okay. Yeah, I love it when they lose batteries. Question 3. St. Paul compared faith to running a race or wrestling an angel?
Running a race.
Running a race. Jacob wrestled the angel. Paul just ran the marathon of sanctity. Good job. Question 4. Which sport did a medieval pope once ban? Soccer or jousting?
Soccer.
Trying to get you with that one. Yes, believe it or not, it's soccer. Pope John the 22nd called a timeout on a medieval football field for getting too rowdy. Believe it or not. Got to work that one into my next Epic Saints book. Number 5. Somebody gave us money. Ooh, that was my epic Halo voice. Thank you for the 100 bits. He blessed you to get a battery bag. You're back to 10, buddy. Question 5. This is from last week. Dominus Vobiscum means what? The Lord be with you or peace be with you?
Peace be with you.
No, it doesn't matter. The Lord be with you. The original multiplayer greeting, long before Discord made it cool. Well, let's say the mass made it cool. Question 6. Which sacrament can never be repeated? Baptism or marriage?
Baptism.
Ooh, you sure?
Yeah, because if you get an annulment, or if your spouse dies, you can get remarried inside the church.
Thank you. Permanent spiritual firmware installed, courtesy of Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit in baptism. Good job. Question number 7. Which saint founded a religious order? Was it Saint Dominic or Saint Sebastian?
Saint Sebastian.
I'm going to read it for you again.
Saint Dominic.
Thank you. Dominic built the order.
Nobody cares about the Nobody cares about the Dominicans. They're a weird bunch of people anyway.
Hey, Kmart, you want to take over the rest of this? You want to switch out and turn your camera on and take over the rest of the show as the guest?
Question 13. Eggs or OJ?
No.
What a blasphemer! You have messed up your whole royalty check for being on the show, man.
My whole negative 3 cents?
Yeah, I'm taking away 2 batteries for that one, buddy. Okay, because it was personal. Question 8. The liturgical season after Christmas is called Epiphany Tide or Ordinary Time?
Epiphany Tide.
Ordinary time. No XP bonuses, no festivals, just faithful daily grinding. It's not Epiphany Tide, you weirdo.
Why not? I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna change the church.
If you are actually speaking very seriously, the time is actually closer to the naming of Paschal Tide, but we don't usually say those things in the modern liturgy. But Epiphany Tide is not a thing. Okay, that's called Quadragesima or Septuagesima. Okay, number 9. Number 9, the sign of peace in the Mass comes from a Roman greeting or a Jewish blessing. The sign of peace comes from, in the Mass, comes from a Roman greeting or a Jewish blessing.
My gut is telling me Jewish blessing.
Your gut just lost you a battery. A
Sure
holy
did.
handshake that's older than the empire. It came from a Roman greeting. This is why, if you didn't know, St. Paul ends his... This is how we kind of really know that it was St. Paul writing some of these, not just some of these epistles, but it was him signing it. It's because he always ended, or he always started with peace be upon you and the shalom, and he always started with grace be with you, and that was the peace be with you. So just trivia that only Shaun knows, probably, because, well... I don't know things other than what God put in my brain. So, question number 10. Which virtue is the greatest, faith or charity? These
Faith.
are the evangelical virtues, by the way. Which is the greatest virtue, faith or charity?
Well, if I could go downstairs and grab my books by what's his name, I could tell you.
You know this one.
I know it's sitting right there at the tip of my tongue. Like I'm looking at the books in my head.
It's also in the famous cowboy song. The greatest of these is
faith.
The greatest of these is
Charity.
These remain, but the greatest of these is love. So yes, charity. Faith gets you started, but love brings you home, and that's the game. How many did you end with? Gave you a softball on that last one. You ended with 5 batteries. Congratulations.
Darn.
You're the worst guest.
Good. I am number 1 at something in this show.
Somebody clip that. Dude, I had fun. Were those good questions?
They were good questions.
Okay. Well, you know, nobody damned you, so you didn't lose them too bad. Ooh, we got Trump dancing in the chat. I love that. I'm going to have to make some fun ones. Guys, get your keyboards out because poll party's coming, and this is where we're going to get into a lot more of those classic video games on sports. Millennials, stick around because you'll give us the fun commentary and try to sway the council's vote on these. Are you ready?
Always.
Here we go. Poll party. Yeah, I always kick myself in the butt for saying things like you're the worst guest because I've actually got to ask him to mod the show once in a while, and I've got to ask him to probably be a guest on again once in a while, and yeah. Okay.
Oh, if I come on again, my goal is to get 0 right then.
Right, you got to outdo yourself. It was also pointed out to me after last week's show that, in fact, it wasn't even pointed out to me that he's still there. Kmart said, you got to take down the picture of Katoons. And I said, no, that's permanent, guys.
Nah,
That is
I
a
like it.
permanent. Look how cute he is. I will die. I will die before I take down the show. No, we'll probably put it down. Okay. Chat, it's time for tonight's show, and it's all about the guest here on Poll Party. The game tonight is called the Ultra Retro Sports Game Quiz. Very intelligent title building there by me. Only true fans who actually played these games will survive to the end. Your choice will be given 2 choices per question, so vote for them with your hashtags. We will put the hashtags in the chat, and of course, I'll repeat them over and over. It's not one or the other. They're going to be changed up every time. Does that make sense for everybody? Let's go. Okay, here we go. So question 1 in NBA Jam Tournament Edition, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, SNES and Genesis, doesn't matter which one. Which U.S. president was an unlockable secret character? Was it Bill Clinton, hashtag Clinton, or was it George H.W. Bush, hashtag Bush? 44 seconds left. Who was the secret playable character in NBA Jam? Only real players know this. And if
Some
you're
people like to say he was the actual first black president.
What? Because he was in NBA Jam?
No.
What are you talking about?
Mostly because of Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, okay. Okay, so one person says Bush, 3 are saying Clinton. Did you vote?
I didn't vote.
You
Why
did?
do I need to vote?
You have to vote. You have to tell everybody where they should be. Okay, we got 2 for Bush, and the poll has ended. It was Bill Clinton, and actually his running mate was also there. If you put in a secret code, you get them both to show up. So they got a mean 3-pointer. This was a real cheat. There was some other unlockable characters. Maybe they're in this game quiz show again or not. Question 2. Tecmo Bowl, NES. Which game had the fastest which team had the fastest quarterback? Not running back. Which team had the fastest quarterback? Was it the San Diego Chargers, hashtag Chargers, or was it the Miami Dolphins, hashtag Dolphins? In Tecmo Bowl, which team had the fastest quarterback? Trekkie's here! Thank you for your resub. 72 months at tier 3. Guys, let's give a round of applause for being, by the way, yeah. You can't vote and do a chat. You gotta just chat. Trekkie, thank you so much. You and Millennial here are actually the 2 earliest supporters of the show, and you have never stopped. So thank you for being a founder. Thank you for being a tier 3 subscriber. And thank you for 6 years. Is that 6? That's 6 years of subbing. My gosh.
Can't stop, won't stop.
I told him a couple times to stop too. Okay. Wasn't hardly able to talk about it. What did you say?
Dolphins, because I don't know.
It was the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
Boomer. I can't say his last name, but they call him Boomer. He's still, part of the Fox panel, I think. Boomer Esiason will outrun your thumbs any day. Okay, Boomer. Okay, question 3. 60 seconds on the clock. In Blades of Steel, NES game, Blades of Steel, which famous cheat lets you fight the goalie without a penalty? Is it hold B plus down or hold A plus up? If you think it's hold B plus down, it's hashtag B down, hashtag letter B down, or hashtag A up if you think it's hold A and up. Hashtag A up or hashtag B down. What do you think? Lets you hold the goalie with a fight with no penalty. Goalie fights are, by the way, the very best in all of hockey. And I'll stand by that. My Wisconsin friends, North Dakota friends, Minnesota friends, Boston friends, New Jersey friends, New York friends, Maine friends, you guys all know. Michigan friends, you guys know.
Yeah, I never even heard, this is one I actually have not heard of.
Blades of Steel, yeah, early ice hockey game, crappy graphics. 4 seconds left. What do you say?
A up.
A up. The correct answer is be down. 2 in a row lost by the majority of the crowd. The correct answer was be down. Nothing says illegal check like beating the goalie up in 8-bit glory. Question 4. Here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. In Mutant League Football, this is Genesis and SNES era, Mutant League Football, which mutation gives you super speed? Is it the skeleton or the cyborg? Hashtag skeleton or hashtag cyborg. Mutant
Did you know
League
there's actually
Football.
like still like a fan-driven community for this game?
No, I didn't. And in fact, I have not seen or heard from this game since I was a kid. Gigs! Subbed with Prime, 28 months, Prime Rib. That's right. Thank you for the subscription, buddy. It helps support the channel. Thank you. And we got our St. Carlo Acutis throwing the sub ball at the screen. I love that graphic. Okay, so what did you say? Cyborg or skeleton, Millennial?
Skeleton, which means it's cyborg.
Time's up. For the third question in a row, the crowd is... I'm just kidding. It is cyborg. It's half machine, all turbo. Of course it's not a skeleton. That would fall apart. Nothing like outrunning zombies on the field. Cool game. Awesome concept. They should really re-release it. Okay, question 5. In Wii Sports Bowling... A little more recent. In Wii Sports Bowling, what's the maximum score with a perfectly thrown trick shot? Is it 300 or 297? Hashtag 300 or hashtag 297. What say you, Millennial?
297.
Okay.
Because it's weird. Like it's weird because it's
Yeah, and this is with a trick shot, with a perfectly thrown trick shot. Is it 300 or 297? I think we all know, if anybody's not familiar, 300 is a perfect bowling score. 300 or 297. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. Wii Sports Bowling. Man, that was some fun stuff. You know what I didn't play enough was the Switch Sports. I really wanted to do more of that. Maybe if we get the gang together, we can all play that together. January. Trekkie, you're here. You're here. You need to go and tell me in the Discord that you're coming. We're making final decisions. Okay. A majority of you said 300. The minority says 297 with 2 votes. The correct answer is 300. Yes, the perfect strike is possible, but only if your Wiimote obeys your soul. I don't know why that's the quip that I wrote there, but yeah, obey your soul. Question 6. Be disappointed in yourself, not me, guys. Question 6 in NBA Jam. Again, NBA Jam, SNES, Genesis era. Which hidden mode lets players fight referees? Blood mode or heat mode? Blood mode or heat mode? Hashtag blood or hashtag heat. NBA Jam, hidden mode. You can actually hit the refs. Blood mode or heat mode? What say you, Millennial?
heat. No, blood.
Okay. Did you like NBA Jam?
I I loved all the weird like NBA Jam, MLB Slugfest.
He's on fire. Yeah, couldn't get enough of NBA Jam. Go to the go to the corner and shoot a three. Easy.
The
Easy
street
but-
games.
Yeah. Those were fun. My favorite sports game of all time on a console was NFL Blitz.
Yep.
Hands down, the most rowdy, hilarious sports game there ever was. In fact, the animation, I'll die on this hill, the animation of a tackle in that is still better than Madden. I still don't understand why these guys fall in slow motion in these games and people praise it and spend $60 on it every year. Okay, the correct answer is blood mode. Violence against referees only in 2D arcade basketball. Guys, I'm glad you're not Googling this, but you guys aren't doing so well. If this was Boss Battle, your batteries would be out. Question number 7. In RBI Baseball 3, this is NES, RBI Baseball 3, Millennial, you should know this, which stadium has the infamous invisible wall glitch? Is it Fenway Park or Wrigley Field? Fenway Park is, of course, the green monster. Wrigley Field has the ivy. They actually still find baseballs in that thing that they've lost for decades. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Hashtag Wrigley with a W, Wrigley, or hashtag Fenway. 30 seconds. Wrigley Field or Fenway. Have you been to either park first?
I've been to Wrigley.
Really? I would love to go to Wrigley. I would go to Wrigley over Fenway, but I'd love to go to Fenway.
So I need to hit up Fenway.
Yeah. Maybe we do that. Maybe we make a bro trip out of it.
I would do it.
Maybe once you get your 100% disability and you get that massive fat check and you owe Shaun a trip to Fenway. I got a hype chest. Guys, we had a hype train. I don't remember this. If you were part of the hype train, open up your hype chest. Thank you. Somebody, 2 subs, 500 bits. I must not have noticed the 500 bits. Thanks, guys. Guys, please keep giving me your money. Go for it. Just spend it. Spend it on me. The correct answer for the infamous stadium with the wall glitch is Wrigley Field. Fenway. Everybody wanted to say Fenway. Boston. Guys, it's wrong. These are some good questions tonight. I finally found you guys' weak spot. You guys, a bunch of nerds, didn't play any of the sports games. Question 8. In Mario Golf 64, clap hands if you get the reference. Mario Golf 64, which hidden course is unlocked by beating all-star medals? All-star medals. Is it Rainbow Road or Yoshi's Island? Mario Golf 64, which hidden course is unlocked by beating all-star medals? Is it Rainbow Road or Yoshi's Island? And the hashtags are hashtag Rainbow or hashtag Yoshi. What say you, Millennial?
Yoshi?
Okay, also, are you a bigger Nintendo fan or PC fan or PlayStation? What's your console of choice?
It depends on the genre.
Okay. Sports.
Yeah,
For sports.
For sports, it would be Xbox.
Okay, you have the new Xbox. You were like one of the earliest adopters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. You see, I do remember some things. Okay, we got 6 votes. Guys, thank you for increasing the votes. We have a split right down the middle. You want to be the tiebreaker? You get an extra vote, Millennial. Which one did you go with?
My initial thought is Yoshi, but it might. I'm gonna go with Yoshi, but that doesn't seem right. I think that's the 1,000.
Final answer.
Yoshi.
Wrong. It's Rainbow
Yeah.
Road. Of course, it's Rainbow Road. Nothing says pocket par like dodging carts and banana peels on the final hole. That's cool. All right, number 9. Question number 9. We're almost to the end. In SS Tricky. That was a cool game with a cool commercial. This is PS2 and Xbox. SS Tricky, PS2 and Xbox, snowboarding game. Which trick lets you earn infinite speed boosts? Is it Dark Slide or Alley-oop? Hashtag Dark Slide, one word, or hashtag Alley-oop. In SS Tricky, it's Chi to rock around to rock around. That was a cool commercial, still a dope song, and a really cool game. I remember SS Tricky, although I was a 1080 fan. I had 1080. My wife was a Cool Borders fan. You heard that last week before we all glitched up. All right, we got 6 votes. Who's going to break the tie? Who's going to... Miss Magician is watching with me. Oh, Mr. Magician is watching with me, and so far he hasn't gotten one wrong. What a man! Maybe he needs to be a guest on the show. What a man. And this is Punk Magician, by the way. Punk. Okay. Tell him to give me a paycheck. Guys, keep the hype train moving in. We need me to do a 24-hour stream. We've got goals. Okay, we are right down the middle. I actually don't know the answer. I have covered it up. It's on the teleprompter. Again, I wasn't much of an adopter of PlayStation 2 or the Xbox until the 360 came out. I'm gonna go with alley oop. That sounds very skaterish to me, not darkish. I broke it, and I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's dark slide. Slide like a shadow and watch your boost bar explode. Just don't hit a tree. Okay, I got it wrong, and I'm the host, and I had the answer. Question 10 in NBA Street. That's the game. NBA Street. This is PS2, Xbox. Which player is secretly unlockable by completing all skill challenges? Skill challenges. Is it Michael Jordan, hashtag Jordan, or Kobe Bryant? Hashtag Kobe.
I think
Which one?
Kobe's already in the game. Man. All
Hash-
skill challenges?
all skill challenges unlocked by skill challenges. Michael Jordan, hashtag Jordan, or Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, Kobe, good Catholic Kobe, God rest his family soul. Cast your votes. We got 6 votes. Everybody's leaning towards MJ. Kobe. And the poll will close in a few seconds. Let me know if Mr. Magician gets all of this right. He is a punk. He is probably Googling all of this. Tell him I said that. I'm sure he can hear me. If you voted Jordan with the majority of the crowd, you're correct. It's Michael Jordan. Air Jordan soars past the challenges like he's still dunking on arcade cabinets. Okay, that's it. That's the end of Poll Party. What'd you think?
Wonderful. Amazing.
Did I make you proud with enough sports moments?
I could probably use some of those for actual trivia.
Are you going to get Battlefield and play with me?
No.
Loser.
Yes, you are.
Good comeback. Guys, put some emotes in the chat if you're getting Battlefield, because we got to squad up. This is the first shooter I'm gonna get serious about from day one, and I'm willing to buy it if you guys are willing to play it. So let me know. I have it downloaded, ready to go. I had fun. Thank you to Millennial Catholic. Can we please put some references into the chat of where people can find your podcast?
Yeah, Kmart just did.
Kmart just did. Tell us another reason to go and listen to these old podcasts. And we didn't get the chance to answer this, but let's give you just a second to get on the hot seat and tell us what you're planning to do in the future with some potential media moves.
So,
in fact,
have
give me a
a
second.
weird-
Let me give you your due. Let's go back to co-op mode here. Let's give you some people can see.
Yeah. So, what plans in the future are for
Wait
media?
for the music. Now go.
No. Music can.
So you're a
do whatever it wants.
podcaster. Now you want to become a Twitch streamer.
Why would I ever want to do that?
It sucks. It sucks. It's the biggest headache. Go for it. The floor is yours.
So there's been an interesting thing that has happened in the past couple of years is, so my wife and I went to Disney for our honeymoon, and I really got into pin trading the second time we went. Because of that, I have met up with a group here in Maryland that does pin trading. One of the leaders of the group really wanted to do a major event one time, and that event has now spanned into 5 or 6 different major events taking place around the BWI airport every February and every July. What we do is we make enough money to break even, and then we give a whole bunch of money to St. Jude. And I think, if my math is roughly correct, we've given about $20,000 to St. Jude. What I have learned by doing this is the people there are super interesting to me. They are veterans, they are doctors, they are teachers, they are lawyers, they are... Some of them, this is their whole entire job is buying and selling and trading pins. That's how they make a living. some are wedding photographers, and it's just like I'm always interested in people and what people like to do and what people are people. So I've had this idea of either doing one, a documentary about pin trading, just in general, or two, getting with people who are traders or collectors and finding out the person behind why they collect, and what they do, and what their life is like. Because I don't know, I find these people to be interesting. Shaun is not a very interesting person, um, so I would never interview him. Yes, I know, KMX, you do collect lots of things. You'd probably be on my list of people to talk to.
What did you say?
What do you mean? What did I say?
All right, man. We got to move on. We love you. Thanks for being on the show, dude. We can't wait to have you back on. Find that documentary that you plan to do. And if you could raise 20K for the show, like, that'd be great. We'll go to Fenway. We'll stream from there. I love you,
Let
man.
me let
Thanks.
me run a trivia event for you and get everybody out there, and we can start raising money that way.
Let's do it. We should do a trivia stream. Next time you're on, it's going to be a trivia stream. That'll be the after party. No after party tonight. Millennial, I love you. Thanks for being a great brother in Christ, and thanks for being a public servant, and thank you for your service. Contact me about your veterans benefits. Let's get you paid for what you owe, or what is owed to you for your service. Thank you. Let's go to the grind list. Goodbye, Andy. Proctologists. That's all I see in the chat. Did you guys like my bears? K-Max said I was being inappropriate. My boss at work also thinks I'm inappropriate. That's a different topic. But these are my flight bears. These are my flight bears. They're from the University of North Dakota. A lot of you don't even have a clue about this, but my undergraduate is actually in aviation. I learned to fly. I thought I was going to be a commercial aviator, and then I was like, no, I want to stay home. So that's that grind list, guys. It's time to talk to me and to you and to the chat about what we're grinding on. Please load up the chat with what games you're playing, what your prayer requests are, as I list mine out here for you too. First of all, in the spiritual docket, I am praying Compline with my boys every night, not missing a beat. Love it. We are chanting Compline together, and it's cool. I love my boys, and they are going to leave the house knowing how to do some really interesting things, and they can take that with them for the rest of their life. It's a great gift of mine to just quiet down with some low light, sing the Marian hymns at the end, and do those 3 psalms in the old breviary. So that's cool. Got to get to confession this week, having fun with that. And actually, Trekkie, I need to talk to you because I had a bizarre experience in the confessional. Usually I can answer all of these kinds of questions, but I had a bizarre experience in the confessional. Truth is, I don't think I received an absolution. Wasn't able to make my, wasn't given a penance. I think the priest didn't even hear me. I'll talk to you about that, but I got to go get that solved out. Just personal stuff there, right? Opening up a little bit. As far as games are concerned, if you weren't tracking, I beat Chibi Robo last night, and it was hilarious at the end. Those last several cutscenes, just absolutely heartwarming, super cute game all the way through, and it did not disappoint in the end. Bunch of funny little things happen, and the family goes and saves their marriage, and we get a poignant moment with Giga Robo. Go back and watch that if you want. I'm still have 2 more battles to do on a game known as Fire Emblem, the Blazing Blade, playing that, but I've got Battlefield cocked and loaded. I am ready to go with that tomorrow. I just want to have so much fun because I missed the big splash in the last two Battlefield games, and I love that open environment. The large-scale warfare environment just gets my blood moving. So let's read some comments. Let's get some comments. That game is so dumb. Okay, so Chibi Robo is dumb. Well, I love you too. Okay, please pray for, okay, possible new job that would be huge for my family. Please pray for us that that I only get it if God wants it for us. Yeah, biking, prayer, card sorting, and DK Bonanza still. Okay. Keep going on that. Tabletop, Vantage Video, Pokemon Legends. Buddy, I saw you playing Arceus. You know what I think we should do is like a couple times a month we get out our Nintendo Switch and let's use that game chat. Let's have like a quick Catholic chat Nintendo hangout. I think that would be cool. Let's see what else we got. I beat Rise of the Tomb Raider and have moved to Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Neat. I love Lara Croft. In fact, I really love Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft character rendition. She just did it. She just did it. She's a great female hero in that one. Can't approve of everything, especially maybe even the attire, but you get it. You get it. She's a beautiful woman. Miss Magician, I have a huge market. Need to make 500 headbands for in November. Definitely praying I sell out or close to it. Yeah. Do you think you could donate one or two to the show? Maybe we can use that as a giveaway, Magician. By the way, can't wait to receive mine. I bought 2 Packers headbands from her. I can't wait to give that to my wife and my daughter. I don't think they even know about it. He says he's down for that. Cubs need to win game 4 tonight. Guys, also welcome to hockey season. Let me put in a plug. Go, Sioux! Go! Yeah, that's right. Stand up and cheer for North Dakota. Got these guys over here acting foolish in the chat. I had fun, guys. Thank you for episode 7. Thank you to Trekkie and to Gigs for the resubs. Thank you so much for your financial support. It does keep all of this going. It doesn't pay for itself. And thank you to those who gave the bits. Shaunavision, JJ Catholic, Millennial. Thank your wives for giving me a little bit of that hard-earned cheddar. Guys, I'm going to see you in the next chat and the next stream. Remember, 8 o'clock Thursdays Eastern, the daily grind where gamers find grace. If you support the show, you end up in the credits. Thank you all. Good night. God bless.